We are resetting the stage, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for, again, an in-conversation. Well, when we think about the toys that were there in our playrooms, to the cereals that adorned our breakfast tables, to, of course, the shoes that adorn our feet, for that matter, all these brands, if you sort of recall, they haven't just provided the products per se, but also they have been a part of our personal stories and stories. That brings me on to introducing the next topic, which is, this is going to be about adhesion to innovation, crafting a legacy that actually sticks. Well, to do the talk, I'm going to be inviting our session moderator, Amit, Khanna, Partner Advisory from PwC India, who is going to be in conversation with Salil, Dalal, the Chief Business Officer, ladies and gentlemen, from Fevicol, India, Pidilite. Of course, the wave makers taking up the stage. Please welcome Amit and Salil with a lovely round of cheer. A very, very warm welcome to the two of you, and Amit, it's over to you on that note.
Thank you. So I know when you have to do a session just before the drinks and the dinner, it's very difficult. But I also knew that ये Fevicol का मजबूत जोड़ है, audience को उठने ही नहीं देगा. So don't worry. So with that, Salil, thank you for giving your time. I know Fevicol is one of the brands which we have been seeing for ages now. I think our parents have seen it. We are seeing it. Perhaps our kids are liking it. And it's been there for almost about 50-60 years and still maintaining at the top of the brand list. How have you been able to do that?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much. It's an honor to be on the stage in front of so many people who are receiving the awards for the iconic awards from TH. So I think if you look back, the story of how Fevicol began with very humble beginnings, where Fevicol was bedded from carpenter to carpenter, showing how it is a better bond than at that time animal fat and very smelly adhesion glue was used. From those very humble beginnings where we really connected, we really found the formula to creating the iconic brand. First, I think everybody knows about our communication excellence, the advertisements which really connect with all of the people across generations. Right? The second is about reaching the Fevicol to as many places in the deepest of interiors of the company, so that's the channel excellence. And the third is something which is lesser known. It is about connecting with the users, the carpenters, the contractors, and really building the bond with them, the emotional bond with every craftsman who really swear by the product. It is because of them and the bond which is built with them that we know Fevicol as the Mazboot Jod.
Fantastic. No, that's been very, very good. But how are you able to maintain the communication you talked about very similar throughout? The media which was there when you started was very different. The media which was there in between was very different. The new Gen Z, Gen X, we talked about generation of the brand, they're all on the digital media. And then you just said that half of your user or influencer doesn't even see the media. How are you able to do that?
No, absolutely. I think the lesson again there, you mentioned that it's a singular message, right? For last 63 years, Fevicol is giving only one message, which is that it is a Mazboot Jod. So that message layered with various types of communication, that's been one thing which I think is the secret of the success. The second thing is that we have adapted with the times, right? It is not that we have given one message and it's just the one brand. Everybody knows about Fevicol, but Fevicol has over a period of time really developed a lot of variants. Now you and I might not know that, but the craftsman, the contractor really knows. There is a variant which does the work faster, there is a variant which works better under moist conditions or wet conditions. There is something which gives you a superior kind of a bond which works under multiple conditions. There are different Fevicols for different surfaces. Substrates, new technologies which are coming in. So I think there's a lot of innovation on the product front. There is a lot of innovation which has been happening even on the media front. So what has happened is that the entire media landscape changed, right? And digital became the new norm. And we really thought that if we have to survive in this age, I mean, when I used to go to campus for recruitment, the young management graduates used to ask us a question, saying your ads are good, but they were good for the old age. What is it that you are doing in the new age? And we were really not that great, and we were in the risk of really losing our relevance with the new generation. But that is when we did something completely different. We trusted our young manager who was in charge in the corporate marketing. We said that, look, typically when we generate a communication, we have to look at the agency, the top honchos of the organization, approving every creative brief and looking at the creative, which is the ad which is coming out, and approving that. That can't work in the digital age. So we said we are trusting you, you and the creative agency, you have a free run and do something in this particular new age and era. And the results have been astounding, right? We had, for example, there was a post which was there when Ronaldo, when he was in a press conference, if you remember, he removed 2 of the beverage cans which were there on the table. And immediately we got to know about this particular instance on social media, and within 15 minutes there was a post which was up, saying that this wouldn't have happened if Fevicol was involved. And that led to a complete viral scenario in which the amount of posts, the kind of media benefits that we got through that viral post was equal to nearly Fevicol's 1 year's worth of traditional media spend. So that is the kind of PR that we got. So I think doing things differently, staying relevant in the digital age, that's one thing. But so singular message, remaining relevant by adapting. And the third very important thing is building partnerships. I think the way we developed our communication over the years, last 63 years, I think there are articles written in the press how Pidilite has built a partnership with Ogilvy and many other agencies as well, where Piyush Pandey, Prasoon Pandey, these are the people who have been associated with the brand for now decades. They don't need a brief, they don't need a media brief, they know sometimes even more than the brand managers about what's happening today in terms of the insights. They are able to develop the creatives and the organization trusts. I'll give you an example. Our media agency said that when you are developing a creative for 60 years of iconic brand that Pidilite was, Fevicol was, you need to create an advertising which is 30 seconds, because on the digital media, anything more than 20 seconds or 30 seconds is a disaster. Nobody's going to see that, people are going to skip. That's the traditional wisdom, right? But there was a fantastic ad which was created about the 60-year The Sofa ad. That was 90 seconds long. Now, we trusted the agency, we put it out on YouTube. In the first 4 days, we got 100 million views, right? People saw the entire ad because the content was so good. The content was good because the agency was completely invested and the client gave a fantastic free hand to the agency to do what they believed was the right thing, right? So I think that's the way in which singular message, developing partnerships and adapting with what is required in the market today.
No, that's very interesting, Salil, and I think some of the names which you have taken, I've actually worked with them and I can completely give them that respect, that they really deserve that respect. But the question still remains. You have an adhesion on the urban area as well as the rural area. The SEC A1 loves you as well as the rural market loves you. So how are you able to handle that level of variation in a singular brand? And I'm talking about a singular brand with multiple concepts which you had.
Yeah, so I think we at Fevicol are like the proverbial duck. You see a nice duck or a swan, but there is a furious pedaling which is happening under the water. We are servicing something like 40,000 villages where our person visits and there is a retailer who is there who is serviced by our person. We have 2.5 lakh contractors who we have a KYC with and we are in connect with. They are on a loyalty program. We hold meetings with them every quarter and we are communicating with them what is the right way to use, what are the new variants and what are the right practices to build their businesses. We connect with them not only for our product, but things which are relevant to them as a from a social point of view. We do eye checkup camps, health checkup camps. We do rickshaw open, tree plantation drives, yoga divas, and so on and so forth. So there is a large amount of work which is done to really propagate, other than just the communication and really what we can see in the usual media. So I think this particular reach to the rural areas and being there with the users and being there with the dealers is what I think is very important part of building the brand.
Super interesting, because I think you are one of the few brands which has a universal appeal both in the urban market and in the rural market. Also, I think your influencer loyalty program is still counted as one of the best in the industry, and you've been able to manage that. I think I have one question, and perhaps I'm asking this on behalf of the audience who is sitting there. You've been there for 60 years back. The market was very different, the competition was less, the media was singular, you can actually create yourself. But if somebody has to create a new brand today, what will be your tip to him?
Yeah, and it is not only the startups who are creating new brands. We as an organization also are consistently investing into startups in our space to remain relevant, to learn from them, and building some of these startups into big brands. We are also building our own brand. Like we are now recently launched Aisha Paints, which is a completely new brand, and we are going to nurture it from scratch with the learnings of what we have got from the way we have developed Fevicol, Dr. Fixit, M-Seal, and so many others. I think the tip there is, first of all, you have to get a concept, a product or a service, and you have to stay true to it, right? So T, stay true to your promise. Second is that even if you got a concept and something is good, you need to have insights. You have to have insights about the product, you have to have insights about the proposition, which can lead to great communication or great advertising concepts. Insights, nobody else is going to do this for you. You have to do it yourself, right? Nobody is going to, you have to be there out with the customer in the market, gather the insights which will allow you to communicate about your product. I think that's a very important thing for all brand managers and startups out there. So that's true to your promise, insights which you have to generate. And the third thing, which is P, is partnerships. You still can't do everything yourself. You have to trust your partners, get the best in the business in terms of the agencies, in terms of the BTL agencies, creative agencies, media agencies, and trust them to do their work. So that's my tip for you. TIP, stay true to your product, generate insights, and then develop partnerships to build your iconic brands.
Oh, perfect. This is very interesting and a very interesting acronym tip you have made. I really like that. I think I know we have already got an indication that our time is up and we are running late. So I know I will not hold audience for their dinner and drink for very long. But one simple thing I want to say is that the last point which you made, which was very, very interesting. If you have to build something iconic, it is not a singular job. It requires a team and it requires a partners to make it. You need to trust your partner, you need to work with your partners, and I think you have shown that very, very well. Thank you for the time. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you very much, and happy building bonds.